So I don't know who needs to hear this, but having hurt feelings or being offended is not the same as oppression. It has five faces: violence, powerlessness, marginalization, cultural imperialism, and exploitation. I am an interdisciplinary social scientist. I just graduated with my master's from Vanderbilt Peabody College in May of 2024. I am one of the most awarded master's student in the 150-year history of Peabody College. Your girl knows what she's talking about. So Dr. Iris Marion Young gives us this framework for us to better, more concretely and clearly articulate the parameters of what oppression is, which is why I make a clear distinction that having hurt feelings and even being offended is not equivocal to the level of violence, exploitation, powerlessness, marginalization, and cultural imperialism that keeps an entire group of people from having access to opportunities and resources that will ensure a decent quality of life and ensure that they flourish. Another reason why I say that is because a lot of group of people signal the struggles of Black American people and anti-Blackness as a launching pad to recenter the struggles of their communities. And in that ways, we're engaging with the same oppressive methods by decentering Black people to recenter the struggles of everyone else. And so what we've seen in social media, particularly TikTok, and we know that what is credited with TikTok culture is just all other groups of people appropriating 90s and 2000s the Black American culture. And as a Black American woman, I see this digital mimicking of my people and my culture. But during this time, we see this attempt to make everything within the realms of oppression. You have pretty privilege and white privilege and all these things that are not rooted in a systematic social engineering to disempower the global majority in order to overempower the global minority, which is how white supremacy works, which is how male privilege works, which is how classism works, right? But you being called whatever fill in the blank that hurts your feelings, if it's not rooted in centuries of systemic oppression, you'll hurt feelings, baby. And it's unfortunate. It's not the same. Hurt feelings and being offended is not equivalent to oppression, meaning the white biracial who is teary-eyed because they don't have the same entitled access to Black American culture that they feel entitled to because they move through Blackness as a white woman because that's who raised them. That's all they have access to. That's the only reference of engaging with the world that they really have access to. Your hurt feelings is not the equivalent to the colorism and anti-Blackness that I, as an unambiguous Black American woman, experience on a daily basis. So yeah, once we get clear on who and what is what, then we can have robust and productive conversations about equity, about justice, and this whole oppression Olympics propaganda. People just mad that they wouldn't win.
One of the things I noticed about my white mom is she didn't have any foundational relationships with Black women, but yet had a myriad of Black men in her circle. So when I see a biracial child being raised by a woman who doesn't even have Black women in her proximity, but can tokenize Black men, this indicates to me that there is a dislike for Black women, and if they have a Black daughter.
The phrase white woman tears racist. So in case you hadn't noticed, I am a white woman. And whenever the BIPOC community mentions white fragility or white women's tears, it's uncomfortable, not gonna lie. And maybe 10-15 years ago, I would have said, but that's just as racist. However, I am really lucky that over the last 10-15 years, I have experienced other cultures and seen things from a different angle. Getting upset is a perfectly valid emotion. If I was accused of racism, I'd probably cry. Maybe because I'm fragile. The problem is, historically, white women take it a step further. They then utilize their tears so that they can play the victim. I can't talk to you right now. I'm too upset. How can you talk to me like this? So everyone feels sorry for the poor girl that's crying, who takes no accountability. The blame gets pointed back to the BIPOC community. White women's tears is a weapon.
Hear this, but having hurt feelings or being offended is not the same as oppression.